eclipse is called as Grahan. If solar eclipse is going on, what happens? This is your sun, this is your earth. In between the sun and earth, moon comes. Because of the shadow of the moon, you cannot see the sun, right? And once moon goes away, you can clearly see the sun afterwards. Same thing happens in case of doctrine of eclipse. Okay, a statute is there. Okay, and then constitution is made. So there are so many statutes which are made before the making of the constitution, and after the making of the constitution, it comes in the light that a part of that statute is against the constitution. Then what happens? You do not have to strike down or move away the entire statute. Just that part remains in the statute in a sleeping condition below the shadow. And so once the shadow of the constitution is removed, or if that part is amended, then the statute again, or part of that statute comes again in life. That's what happens in doctrine of eclipse. Hey everyone, welcome to Law Simple and Pure. I'm your host Dr. Vaishali, and in today's lecture we are going to learn doctrine of eclipse with the help of important case law. If there is a question on Article 13, please do not forget to mention doctrine of eclipse and doctrine of severability, because they are a part of doctrine of judicial review. In Article 13, so many important things are there. Definition of law is there, doctrine of judicial review is there, and that doctrine of judicial review, there are so many tools invented to apply the doctrine of judicial review, and one of these tools are doctrine of severability and doctrine of eclipse. So if there is a question on doctrine of eclipse, please mention that it is a part of Article 13. It is a tool invented to protect fundamental rights. Okay, it is a part of judicial review. Same thing is applicable to doctrine of severability. So many things are common. If there is a short note, please make sure that first 4 to 5 paragraphs are common in case of both the doctrines. In this question, you are supposed to cover following points for getting good marks. What are the tools of judicial review provided under Article 13? Meaning of doctrine of eclipse, Article 13 and doctrine of eclipse, explanation to the doctrine of eclipse, case laws on doctrine of eclipse and post-constitutional laws, difference between doctrine of severability and doctrine of eclipse, and then conclude. You will score like anything after writing these many points. Please make sure while following my lecture, I am providing what you are supposed to write in your answer sheet. Okay, so one by one, if you can cover all these points in your answer, you will score like anything. What is judicial review and how doctrine of eclipse is a part of judicial review? We'll start with introduction. Eclipse means a part of a statute is shadowed by the constitution. Okay, it means eclipse. Now, what is judicial review? Judiciary is considered as a watchdog which protects constitution. So if any organ like legislature or executive goes against the constitution, judiciary will take review of their action, whether it is in accordance with the constitution or not. If it is in accordance with constitution, it is a good law. If it is not in accordance with the constitution, it is not a good law. Okay, so basically this doctrine is made to protect part 3 of the constitution. Part 3 of the constitution, which confers fundamental rights on citizens. Okay, and in order to protect those rights, Article 13 is made. That's why part 3 of the constitution begins with Article 12. Why 12 is there? Because definition of state is there, because fundamental rights are enforceable against the state. Then Article 13 provides definition of law. Why? Because no law can go against the fundamental rights. Okay, again it provides doctrine of severability and eclipse and doctrine of judicial review. Why? In order to protect part 3 or fundamental rights which are there in the constitution. Okay, so validity of every legislative law is tested on the touchstone of constitution. If a law is in accordance with the constitution, it is a good law. If that law is not in accordance with the constitution, it will be removed from that statute book. What is the meaning of eclipse? It means to hide or to overshadow. The doctrine of eclipse is based on the principle that a law which violates the constitution becomes unenforceable, that is, remains in a moribund or sleeping condition. It is overshadowed by the fundamental rights because they are more important, and remains dormant in a sleeping position, but it is not dead. Such laws are not wiped out entirely from the statute book, so they are kept there. Okay, so that law will stay in a sleeping condition, and if any amendment happens to the fundamental rights by which the shadow is removed, then that law will come into a living condition again. Article 13 subclause 1 and subclause 2 are important here. Subclause 1, all laws in force in the territory of India immediately before the commencement of the constitution, insofar as they are inconsistent with the provisions of this part, means part 3, shall to the extent of that inconsistency be void. Only to extent of that inconsistency, okay, not the entire statute. Second, the state shall not make any law which takes away or abridges, means post-constitution, future law also. It cannot go against the constitution or abridges the right conferred by part 3. If it is made, it will be invalid to the extent of that contravention. So Article 13 subclause 1 and subclause 2 is about doctrine of severability and doctrine of eclipse together. Explanation to this doctrine. This doctrine applies to and can be invoked only in case of Article 13 dealing with pre-constitutional laws, which states all laws in force in territory of India before the commencement of constitution. So it is applicable to pre-constitution laws, but there is a controversy and there is a judicial opinion that it is applicable to post-constitutional law as well. Okay. In other words, a law that violates fundamental rights remains in a moribund condition. So if there is a law, okay, which is in existence or which is applicable, and then constitution is made and it is found out that it goes against the constitution, then it will remain in a sleeping position, and this is called as doctrine of eclipse. I will explain this doctrine with important case laws. Okay, please note down while listening my lectures. Okay, my lectures are very accurate. Okay, you can directly write them in your answer sheet. Okay, because I have taken these notes from all the books, okay, the prescribed books or textbooks which are there for you, and these notes are authentic, so you can validly use these notes for writing your answer. So please try to listen my notes or listen my lecture along with paper and pencil or pen, and try to note down these points or these case laws. Or if you cannot do that, then try to listen my lecture for 3 to 4 times. Just put the earphones in your ear and keep listening these lectures. You can actually learn everything and you can write in your answer sheet. What are the case laws provided over here? In Bikaji versus State of Madhya Pradesh, Berar Vehicle Act 1947 was under consideration, which was challenged that some provisions of the act empower state government to take entire motor transport business, and it was violating of Article 19(1)(g), right to practice and right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. So that act, provision of that act violated Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution of India. But over here court provided that entire act is not void, just the provision will stay there but in a sleeping position. And if in any case, okay, Article 19(1)(g) is changed, that in that case again the law will come in picture. So the law merely eclipsed for the time being by fundamental rights. As soon as the eclipse is removed, the law begin to operate from the date of such removal. It means law will stay there in a sleeping position. It will not be taken away from the constitution. Same doctrine is applied in case of section 309 of IPC. The doctrine is seen to extend the provision under the Indian Penal Code as observed in the case of Gyan Kaur and Ratiram. In case of Ratinam versus Union of India, section 309 of IPC that criminalizes attempt to suicide was challenged. So attempt to commit suicide is punishable under Article 309. So it was challenged. The court drew a parallel between Article 19 and Article 21 and observed that Article 21 holds right to life. So it also includes right not to life and holds section 309 to be unconstitutional, and therefore it was eclipsed. After 2 years, a 5-judgment constitution bench in case of Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab reversed the judgment of Ratinam's case and upheld the validity of section 309. So section 309 is about attempt to commit suicide is punishable. So in first case, Supreme Court provided that right to life includes right to die. Okay, and that's why section 309 of IPC is not valid. Okay, so it was kept in IPC but it was in a sleeping position, but the decision was reversed in Gyan Kaur and it is provided that right to life is a right, but right to die is unnatural termination of right to life, and that's why section 309 of IPC, which punishes attempt to commit suicide, is valid. Okay, so for 2 years section 309 of IPC stayed in sleeping position. Once the law is changed by judiciary, again it started, or it came in picture, and it is still there in IPC. So this is a very good example of application of doctrine of eclipse. There is a controversy regarding application of doctrine of eclipse to post-constitutional laws. In Deepchand versus State of Uttar Pradesh, the Supreme Court held that a post-constitutional law made under Article 13(2), which contravenes a fundamental rights, is nullity. Okay, so a post-constitutional law which goes against the constitution is null. The doctrine does not apply to post-constitutional laws as per Deepchand, but the same case was reversed in Gujarat versus Ambika Mill. Supreme Court modified its view and expressed in Deepchand's case decision, and held that a post-constitutional law which is inconsistent with fundamental rights are not void ab initio, means they are not void, but they are void to the extent of that inconsistency. Okay, so basically as per the latest decision, doctrine of eclipse is applicable to pre as well as post constitutional laws. Then provide a difference between doctrine of eclipse and severability. Okay, it is given in my lecture on doctrine of severability. Okay, and then conclude that doctrine of eclipse is provided in the constitution in article 13 of part 3 to protect part 3 of the constitution. It is one of the tools of judicial review. So it is used by judiciary as a tool to protect fundamental rights. So purpose is there, provide lots of case laws and conclude nicely. You will score really well. Stay tuned till my next lecture. Goodbye and good luck.